In the Rhino Report, there is no better day than today to talk cannabis on 420, right? You know, there's a push at the state capitol to reduce taxes on legal cannabis shops because they are so expensive to operate. Lawmakers and industry experts say it is driving the illegal sale of marijuana. ABC 10's Morgan Reiner covers all things politics. And Morgan, I know you had a chance to speak to a minority-owned business today. How much is she paying in taxes?
Chris, at least 35%. That's why the prices in a legal shop are going to be more expensive than what you'll find on the street, which isn't regulated and not always safe. So I spoke to the senator trying to change that.
We got a total of 78-17 after all that.
On 420, the phones at Crystal Nugs in Sacramento are off the hook. But it was not an easy process to get to this point for Maisha Bahati.
It took us a long time. It was a very difficult process, but we did get our delivery license in 2018.
Marijuana became legal in California in 2016. Without an investor backing her, she said it would cost hundreds of thousands to start her own dispensary. So she applied to a local program called CORE that's meant to help get minorities into the industry.
There's less than 3% of Black women in cannabis. So there's more of us that are needed in this industry, and I hope that I inspire those to get into the industry.
But now that she's operational, the costs are not getting easier.
The taxes in California are insane for cannabis. Everything is taxed. Everything is overpriced. And I feel like, you know, it does open the door for the illegal market to still thrive.
There are several bills in the Capitol aimed at reducing those taxes.
There's a bill that grants a tax holiday for the cultivation tax. My bill grants tax credits to cannabis retailers, covering most of their state tax obligations for a few years to give them relief. Businesses also can't write off many of their expenses under their federal taxes. So it's really a mess for them.
For this tax relief to come from him,
and I say this as a liberal Democrat, we need to support this industry so it doesn't collapse.
He said should speak volumes.
In order for us to be successful and be able to have a foundation in this industry, we have to be able to survive. And taxes right now, to me, is the biggest issue that the cannabis industry is facing.
Weiner also has another bill that passed in a committee today. It would allow medical marijuana sales across the state. He says 62% of California right now has local cities that prohibit all forms of cannabis, even though voters legalized it in 2016, Chris.
Good point there. You know what, though, Morgan? This is basically a call to cut taxes, right? So I assume Republicans on board?
100%. Assemblymember Tom Lackey told me he is on board with anything that helps reduce the illegal and dangerous illicit market that both he and Weiner also said harms the environment.
Okay, Morgan, keep us posted on that one. Thank you.